Well, France's mountains are some of the most popular in the world, and people come from across the globe to ski and snowboard on the slopes. But this winter, things are different. Small mountain towns are having to adapt to Europe's energy crisis. And the ski lifts ferrying the crowds uphill are running at a slower speed, and fewer slopes are being swept overnight. Just two of the measures being used to save energy. Ross Cullen with the second of a two-part report from the French Alps.
For snow lovers in France, this is about as good as it gets. In the Alps, on the pistes, surrounded by big peaks and forests. The clean air and mountain lifestyle draw thousands to alpine resorts like Morzine every week. But the cost of living problems that people are experiencing at home are also impacting holiday destinations. Séverine Blot is the head of sustainability for one of the big ski lift companies in the valley. She says 70% of the energy use on the pistes is dedicated to running the ski lifts and the cable cars. Her costs are going up. For every €1 they used to spend on energy, they now have to spend nearly €4. Her company has lowered the heating in buildings where ski staff work. It's also cut how long they spend reheating ski lift machinery in the morning.
Here everything is heated by electricity, but for us, for our activity, the biggest use for heating is also for the chairlift, for the stations, to make sure we will be able to start in the morning, to have the moving parts not freeze but all the night. So this was the biggest impact.
These are the piste rolling machines that usually smoothen the snow surface for skiers. But all the fuel subsidies in place in France in 2022 have now been scrapped. So to save on fuel costs, the resorts are running the slope sweepers less often and on fewer pistes. Measures to decrease energy use are not just taking place in France's towns and cities. Ski resorts have also been impacted. They're running the lifts here at a slower speed this season to save on electricity. The tourist office has turned down the heating in municipal buildings and lowered the temperature of the public swimming pools. It's also encouraging people in chalets and hotels to turn lights off and the heating down. Sarah Burden from Morzine's tourist office says that individual and collective action is needed to bring down energy costs.
We're relying on individuals to keep their windows shut, to not turn up the heating to full blast, but to make an effort, the same as the businesses are trying to do, to ensure that we can all work together to lower energy use.
There are efforts to follow the government's call to save energy being made across the village. One hotel worker explained what's being done in his building.
We do turn the lights off the whole time to save power, and we put the radiators on the lowest setting possible when guests aren't in. And there are also a few other requirements with just turning stuff off in the kitchen, but nothing too drastic as of yet.
Turning the heating down, switching off lights, slowing the ski lifts, even cancelling night skiing to avoid turning floodlights on. France's winter resorts are doing what they can to try to save on electricity and fuel at a time of year when energy use is normally at its peak. Ross Cullen, CNA, Morzine, in the French Alps.